Okie dokie. Hey, hi, hello, welcome back, Alexandrian Codex. Let's talk about my Victoria 2 mod. Let's talk about this. I haven't thought about it in a while, but what brought it to mind recently was me being in the bath thinking about projects I haven't touched in a while, and this came to mind. And then somebody just absolutely blew up my comment section yesterday on YouTube, commenting on, wow, this is so great, wow, this is so cool. And me being like, oh, buddy, you're going to be disappointed once you reach the end of the series because it's pretty much dead. So I don't want to just listen to myself here. Wow, look at that nerd. Look at that nerd. They need a haircut. I need a haircut. This shit on the side is way too long. Man, that lighting I have sucks. I don't watch my old content for a reason. So, broad strokes, what am I talking about here? This is 2019. This is the planning overview. Right. So this is showing the, and I do this fucking adjusting myself in the chair thing because I sit wrong in chairs. This is Victoria 2 vanilla, right? Am I going to spend an hour on this? No, I'm not. Let's playback speed 1.5 times. Right, the borders are all fucked up. It's ahistoric. Indigenous peoples aren't shown on it. Texas isn't de facto independent. These borders are wrong. Russia really just had a series of outposts, and those borders are more claims than anything else. And we see the troubling thing of territorial ownership and the idea of borders, and just like, that's what I'm going off on right now. Just, it's really weird. It doesn't make a lot of sense. What am I drawing in here? Oh, yeah. I'm drawing in the British Columbia region / Oregon country, which was still up for debate at this time. Yada, yada, yada. Then we switch over to the other map. Now, I think this is the first video I did on it. So I want to go back to right when I pop up continental North America. Right. So my idea, and wow, this was generous. The idea here, and I did update that stream info, right? Yeah, good. The idea here was to have a Oregon country, Columbia country, kind of colonial regions, California. This was going to be like Texas is the California's like Texas is a breakaway state from Mexico. Which I still kind of like the idea, but the inclusion of Nevada there is more revisionism because of what the Americans called California versus what was California. Or, no, in Mexico, this was part of California. I mean, Mexican California really went to like here. So the province and state map of Vicky 2, even modded Vicky 2, doesn't match up to reality super well. Neither do maps, oftentimes with state borders. I wanted the UK and United States to basically play influence wars over all these states, and depending on who won out in the influence war, be able to annex them. I did try that in development. I never posted about it because I hated how it worked. I hated how to code it, and I hated how it worked. I don't like how the Dominion system works in Victoria 2 at all, and really the more I played with it, the more I hated it. This was so important to me early on, was having these indigenous nations, which are now being referred to as decentralized nations in Victoria 3 as of the recording of this video, be able to stand up in some way to Western aggression. And the more I looked at the numbers, and man, look at this, I have like an Apache confederacy that was ahistoric. I had it for simplicity's sake and to make the Apache nation stronger, but they're more of like a cultural group and loose affiliation than they are like a centralized organization. And like the Utes, again, are a series of cultures and tribes in an area, not like one homogenous group. And even for the Sioux Confederacy, the Seven Fires Tribal Confederacy, or the Three Fires Confederacy, these weren't like highly centralized organizations, and when we think about nation states in the context of Victoria 2 and other Paradox games, this centralization is really important in the representation, but it's more like confederacies and loose affiliations, and mechanically they should play different. There's no way to really represent those faithfully in Vicky 2, and that's really where development of the mod started to dead end and train wreck a little bit. It's like the issue I've run into that I don't know how to address, and all the solutions feel bad. All the solutions feel bad because I don't want to make them underpowered, because I don't want to make a colonialism fantasy simulator, because that feels awful. I don't want to make them overpowered, because I don't want this to be a revisionist fantasy that eliminates the asymmetry of the relationship between the United States and native nations and the horrific incidents that define my nation's history. It's a really weird seesaw that I'm on, and I don't like either direction that it goes. And more so, I just feel uncomfortable really delving into this topic, as decently studied as I am, not being an indigenous person. Right? I'm the descendant of settlers and colonists, some of which, you know, engaged in some pretty terrible actions that we don't need to get into. And that's largely an assumption. It's not well documented. It just feels weird to be taking ownership of a project whose intention is boosting the representation of native and marginalized peoples. And I think it somewhat succeeds at doing that, if I toot my own horn here. But I don't feel like I'm the right author for it. Unfortunately, I don't see too many other authors stepping up with excitement to talk about, or write about, or code about, or make this project. And I think I talk about RGOs here. Right now I'm talking about all of the nations individually, I think, and what I plan to do there. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Joke's on you, nerd. It never really panned out that way. Yeah, 5 months ago? Jesus, this was only 5 months ago that I posted that this is available? That's fucking nuts. It feels so much longer. Well, we'll throw up the overlay, and we'll go take a look at, like, most recently what I was working on. If I recall correctly, and, you know, of course I do, because I'm infallible in every way, always, forever. We go to videos, we scroll back, like, 5 months. Yeah, there's me posting poetry, reading shit. Ah, yes, Dragon Age, we took a stab at that. Dishonored lasts for like 5 episodes. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Love it. Love it. Right. So when we were wrapping this up, I was talking about this one I'm fucking proud of. And if these changes aren't in Victoria 3, I'm putting them in Victoria 2. Changes to the way that socialism, communism, and fascism are the years that they're added to the game. You know what? A better way to do this, well, better is a strong word. A different way to do this is to hop in game, look at what we have, think about what I could work on, what could be made better. I cannot emphasize enough the value and import of collaborative content making. Working as part of a team, I have HPM on here. I have 1815. Is this just HPM or is this my own? No. The Victoria 2 music is gonna kick on, isn't it? Oh god, this is gonna hurt. Oh god, the screen just went so bright. Oh, it killed my mood lighting program. What do we got? Yep. Shut up. God. Oh no. Real question is, did I make this crash? By clicking in my other monitor. Victoria 2 is an old fucking game. No, it's still loading. Okay. In my other screen, let's open in Windows Explorer. No, it won't open on this screen. It'll open on my right screen, won't it? Damn you, Windows. Damn you. V2? What's this version 2? No, this is Victoria 2. This is my... Yep, it opened in the wrong monitor. And Victoria 2, until the game is open, will not exit full screen mode. So I have an Explorer window with the files I want to look at right underneath that. That's fine. That's fine. God, I'm so excited for Victoria 3 to not be coded the way Victoria 2 is. Victoria 2's code is fucking confusing. It's weird and confusing and anachronistic and old and just very frustrating to learn when I'm used to more modern versions of the language and the code. Let's see here. No, this. Not Stellaris. Victoria 2? I don't even remember how I structured this on the file structure on my fucking desktop. Well, we'll find out immediately upon opening this. Okay, this is my test bed. I didn't rename it even. It's still called HPM. Wow, Alex, way to miss a step there. But that's fine. God, this looks better. I guess Hoppin is the United States. Then we'll take a look. Fuck, man, I can even just play this. It's HPM, though, and I'll be real with you. I kind of hate some of the changes HPM made. Not all of them, but some of them. So early on, a lot of the indigenous nations will be like, oh, hell yeah, let's be allied. No. Unfortunately, we're going to acquire that territory through events that are a little unsavory. I wanna point out, how's that game audio looking? Fucking loud is how it's looking. And of course the audio, it's a paradox game, so the music can never equal in value, or it goes all over the place. I want to point out, used to be as the United States, you would kind of want to rush these min life rating techs to colonize, but you don't really colonize anymore with the changes I've made, unless you're trying to rush Africa, in which case you're still gonna have a pretty rough time. So what do I even fucking start out with? Ideological thought would be nice for more national focuses. State and government, I think we need... I can't pre-plan with the decisions, can I? It's been long enough, I don't even remember what the fuck is in here. Manifest Destiny. This is the big one. I need idealism and state and government. Yeah. So idealism, can't touch right now. State and government, we can start walking to. Positivism. Education efficiency would be nice. Yeah, let's do that. Is it nicer than one additional national focus and perhaps some plurality would actually be nice? Ideological thought, why not? Population, sort by most populous, and we're just going to start boosting intellectuals till intellectuals are about 2%. I'm so fucking thrilled at the prospect of playing a Victoria game in a slightly different way. I'm fucking thrilled. Hey, Naval supply, we don't do that around here. Navy, in fact, we don't do that around here. We don't need a navy. Matthew Perry, get fucked. Goodbye. I'd love if we could just sell off those ships, but alas, it's not a thing. We cannot immediately gut military spending because we are dealing with the... You're at least named. You're at least named, right? Yeah, you're named. Oh my god! Ah. My sweet ears. That hurt. I forget the fucking name of this war. What is wrong with me? The second, Nope, can't remember it. Can't remember it. Man, it's been way too long. But, driving indigenous people out of... Well, trying to drive indigenous people... Seminole War, there we go. Out of Florida. What do I want to do? Texas, can we form an alliance? You would accept. Yeah. It's a little ahistoric to ally Texas or help Texas here. By a little, I mean entirely ahistoric. 1836, Davy Crockett and some other American volunteers went down to help out Texas War for Independence. As you may be aware, it didn't work out so well. Texas is going to be high priority. Canada is going to be medium priority. Upper Canada is going to be in Newfoundland. Quebec, Red River Colony. Probably Central America is going to be low. Tuwinga, Chimchin, Ute, Waukeshan, Wintun. Yeah, all these are interesting, but we will be able to integrate without the influence system. One of the reasons I backed away from using the influence system to integrate other American nations was it was just too fucking slow. It was too slow, and making it go vaguely historically was rough. And yeah, the failure to be able to do that just drove me away from it. Budget. Everyone's being way overtaxed. Now, day one numbers are never actually very accurate, so we're just going to leave this here. But probably in about a month or so, we're going to see what the numbers actually are. Okay, yeah, we won this. Unsurprisingly, you can't lose it. But I thought it was worth including just to model that there was conflict going on there at the time. Texas, we can't increase relations with. There we go. And it's almost as if I realized that players might not know what stuff. So, got some pop reduction in Florida. Now, Texas is very well equipped to win this first war. Sorry, Arapaho. The shortened front means that the Mexican armies can't just go through New Mexico into their territory. Doesn't mean that they can't come up the coast here at the same time. It's very hard for the Texans to get encircled. The vast majority of the Texas War of Independence, or Texas Revolutionary War, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, there's quite a few names, was fought between Austin and Laredo here. It pretty much all happened within this area, and really along coastal area here. It's mostly fighting within here, and that's it. So part of these border reconfigurations were an attempt to model that and try to force the AI to adhere to that. Does it? No. But we can try. Oh, hey. Spending's actually kind of balanced. We are way overtaxing the middle class, though. So we're going to drop this to 40%. It's like a fourth of our people are getting none of their needs met. That's a bit of a problem. Group up. I don't remember what perfect armies look like at this point, but frankly, I don't care. We can only intervene in Texan War of Independence if they start losing. And they may. So Texas right now has infantry, cavalry, artillery. Mexico, I believe, only has irregulars. Now, it's a little uncomfortable to make Mexico look like it was a disorganized mess, but really under Santa Anna and the kind of authoritarian government at the time, it was a bit of a disorganized mess. Also, Texas likes to romanticize, not that the Texans weren't disorganized, they were. They like to romanticize themselves as being akin to the Spartans at the Battle of Thermopylae and something like that. So it's hard to get at the heart of like the real quality versus quantity relationship without delving into that at all. Chickasaw relocation. Promise monetary compensation in exchange for the relocation, or stop relocating them. I'm gonna stop relocating them. Pretty sure that makes it so we don't get the Trail of Tears event. Pretty sure I just cut off like a lot of content by saying no to that, but I don't remember. And the fact that I don't front end it by warning you is kind of nice. Seems very asymmetric here, right? But it was. Texas were... even with fucking Sam Houston here, and the AI it's not smart enough to realize this. What it should do is stay in San Antonio. Your defensive bonus in San Antonio will make it so you can hold out, weather the storm. But nope. Nope. We need to... well, need is a strong word. I want to improve our relationship with the United Kingdom. It's going to take some time, but making nice with them is necessary for a couple of events to fire off. I'm going to reduce taxes on the middle class even more. And taxes are actually an anachronistic thing to have, because at this time period, man, I'm so washed out because the lighting has gone from like soft yellow to just bright white. Taxes at this time were not... income tax wasn't a thing. Taxes were raised annually or intermittently in order to pay for specific things. There's a slavery debate. I really hope the slavery debate is handled differently in Vicky 3. It probably won't be. To be fair, it probably won't be. And I think what's best is to keep healthy expectations and realistic expectations for what's to come. Yeah, now Texas is really starting to get the tide turned on them. They settled a status quo. Right? What happened here? Can't tell. Ceasefire. Yep, Santa Ana has been captured event. Yeah, okay, that'll do it. That's an HPM event. That's not me. HPM adds a lot of historical events that are quite good. HPM as a mod on its own is quite good. I'm building on a very strong foundation with this mod. I don't want to pat myself on the back and be like, oh, look at all the shit I've done. Yeah, I've done a bit, but so have they. They've done a bit more than I have. Okay, let's raise this back up to 40 to get this consistently in the green. We'll see if that actually lasts. Mexico wants an alliance. Yeah, buddy, sure. I don't think you're going to be too keen on that alliance once I ask for all of this. But, you know, for now we can be friends. Mexico does have a very small chance of saying yes to the offer of the annexation of all of this. It's just very, 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 very unlikely. When I was designing the mod early on, I wanted the United States to be able to intervene in the Upper and Lower Canada rebellions. They're better handled, I think, by event, because the United Kingdom, historically, is able to pull on the entirety of India's manpower with 100% efficiency in its wars. That's some rough shit, man. That's some rough shit. trying to balance, because you can't. You really can't. Now, I could be trying to boost socialism in our most populous states, but I'm not doing that this time around. I'm just trying to play this like, min-maxy nerd might. Pluralism? Oh, become a constitutional monarchy. Good for you. Good for you. Won't last. 7 Fires Council and 3 Fires Council at war with one another. No surprise there. Mexico wants our help against France. This is wildly ahistoric. The United States would never agree to this. But I'm in. Hacker voice, I'm in. We'll stand by Mexico. Who doesn't love Cinco de Mayo? Huh? Who doesn't love Cinco de Mayo? Yeah, we're at war, so our immigrant attraction has gone in the fucking gutter, but that's fine. The United Kingdom will probably never accept an alliance from us, but I'll offer it. Monocle Sales Plateau. Second Great Awakening, yeah, that's fine. I don't really want to think about that. I think maybe it's better to keep our army in the south. We are a secondary combatant in this war. France is already prioritizing landing in Mexico, I think. Yeah, they're blockading Mexico, not me. I don't think we have to watch Washington, D.C. that hard. Can you fight that off on your own? Man, I hope you can, because I don't want to go down there and do it for you. I'm really just here is to strengthen the Strength of Alliance modifier. I'm here in solidarity. But here in solidarity, not... Get out of here. There's Queen Victoria. Yeah, that should push them out. Yep, there it goes. Nobody gets military access. Monrovia. they're attacking our African colony in Liberia. You can have it, man. You can fucking have it. Go nuts, you crazy French people. Let's go to DC, because it looks like they're blockading, and blockade typically preempts a landing, though Mexico is, again, their primary target, and they're making an absolute shit show out of that, so I wouldn't be too worried. Maritime Union. Canada. Who hates France? Well, hate is a strong word. Who are the great powers besides France? Everyone. France is only allied with the Papal States, and you have the Papal States in your sphere. Wow, you suck. Spain, we don't want an alliance with long term. They're going to be an adversary, assuming we want to purchase Cuba or liberate Cuba or the Philippines. And maybe. I'm probably not going to play that long today, TBH, but probably don't want to be that close to them. Prussia and the United Kingdom are probably our most likely ally candidates. No, you're handling this war fine, and what's great for me is this wears out your manpower down in Mexico, making the Mexican-American War, if it has to happen, even easier. We could, read as, should be expanding our military. I'm good. I'm good. Commerce, I'd actually like... Yeah, more influence. That'd be very nice. Okie Start educating people in the great state of Virginia. Trying to get our tech off the ground. Fuck, France. You were just throwing people... Just lambs to the slaughter, huh? Three Fires Confederacy wants access. Never. Never, never, never. Increase opinion of the Red River Colony. Do I want to increase opinion or increase relations? I want to increase opinion. Hopefully this language, if the influence system is in Victoria 3, is a little less ambiguous, because it's wildly ambiguous. Unraveling reform. Bloody revolutionaries. Do we have a minimum wage? We shouldn't. Trinket minimum wage. There was no minimum wage in the United States in 1836. The United States minimum wage. Minimum wage legislation appeared at the end of the 19th century. But minimum wage as a concept really didn't happen Yeah, earliest minimum wage state laws were focused on women and children. They were struck down by the Supreme Court in the early 20th century. First federal minimum wage law was enacted in 1938, so we shouldn't start with the minimum wage law. Do I want to go in and change that? Yeah, fuck it. Get the notebook out. I've actually found something to change. My god, U.S. remove starting minimum wage. Unfortunately, this is going to have knock-on effects that I cannot predict. Well, could predict, but I'm not going to think about enough to predict. In terms of our whole fucking economy and immigrant attraction. Fuck the reactionaries. Minimum wage is good, actually. House gag rule? Nah. We like consciousness around here. Yeah, joining in this war. Bad move. Very bad move. What's the war at? Show me these war, though. Show me this war, though. Opium war. Already? Maybe that's right. Yeah, 5%. The blockade is... I hate how powerful blockades are in this game. Well, this is gonna take a while. If only I hadn't deleted our navy, I guess. Would our navy be comparable to the French navy? No, but it would have been able to get these fucking blockades off of me. So I probably would have ended up saving money keeping that around, but, you know. Too little, too late. Oh well. I'm gonna reduce military spending by 10% down to 40. You know what? No. Take it all the way down. I'm not expanding our military. I don't need that to grow. I'm not employing pops who are being promoted to soldiers. Really, if anything, I want the South to not promote more soldier pops. I might want to do that in the North, but... nah. We're making progress. Yep. Hopefully France lands more troops, so more troops get wiped out, so they get a lower war score because of battles, but yeah, blockades are way too powerful. Specifically, what's the war goal here? You want reparations. And Mexico wants nothing. Yeah, I'm sure that'll go well. This isn't the top speed. No, it isn't. Just had the realization. Hold up. I'm making this go too slow. I kind of like the promotion system that's in the game, but I like this to be streamlined a little bit in Victoria 3 if it's still included. I think it could be wholesale replaced with something more intuitive. Because, like, it kind of sucks keeping an eye on this until it hits 2%, pulling them out at the most efficient time. But, you know, small complaints. Okay, they are presumably pulling their army out of there. Real question is, where are they gonna go? Yeah, let's forgive the debt in Quebec, because I can't... I wouldn't start another war right now, and I honestly don't care when I piss off the rich people in the United States. What are they gonna do? Huh? Die mad about it? Oh, fuck. A decent relationship with Russia is necessary to acquire Russian Alaska, I think? I can't remember. New Westminster. Hate it. Hate it. Where are you sending those troops, France? Where are you sending them? This can't be good for the French economy, though their economy is a bit more stable than ours. Early on, at least. It's very well established. Organize Indian Territory. I don't want to do this. No, thank you. Yeah, the United Kingdom's pushing back against our influence campaign, which is why I'm researching market structure to give us a bit more of an edge there. I think we can, yeah, add Texas to our sphere. Unfortunately, I don't think that you can annex Texas quite yet. Not while we're at war, anyway, especially not while we're at war, but I can't remember what the annexation conditions are for that. My god, Massachusetts got a lot of intellectuals overnight. American New England, boost intellectuals. I love that Victoria's like, Massachusetts, New York, they're not part of New England. People in that region would wholeheartedly agree with you, I think. Army, none of this speaks to me. Navy, none of that's useful. Commerce, more business regulation would give us more influence, and that's kind of important to me right now. We can't do state and government quite yet. That's 1840, so soon, and we can't do idealism. That's 1840 as well. So, just gonna go with more influence. Maybe I should go for education efficiency, but right now I'm having a polite exchange of opinions, let's say, with the United Kingdom with regards to their North American holdings as to who should actually hold them. How's this war going? Seems like France is kind of just lost, but attack or occupation. Yeah, I'm actually hurting Mexico in this war. Whoops. Yeah, war exhaustion didn't really exist back here. Back in this game, so we may be stuck in this war forever because nothing's going to happen. I don't remember how war exhaustion works in this game. Lose consciousness or basic school system. I'll take the basic school system, though. Immediately you can see it's costing us money. Fully funded education, hell yeah. Empire Mexico, increase opinion. Only problem with trying to sphere Mexico is even if they are reduced to their modern borders, they can become a major power and just completely eschew your influence quite fast. Okay. We need to cut a lot of spend. Could increase tariffs, but I'm very hesitant to rely on tariffs. Historically, tariffs were used more often than taxes as a means of cutting expenses, but you'll see this isn't sustainable because yeah, we do have war exhaustion. Where the fuck do you see that? Just on here? 37%. Wow, because of all of our ports being blockaded. 63%. I can't settle a separate peace, huh? I'm the war leader? Oh yeah, you can have the reparations. Fuck yeah. I will throw you entirely under the bus. Mexico, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. Should I be? Probably a little bit, but I am entirely unapologetic. Now we can create some states out here in... Do I wanna? No, but I'm gonna. Don't extend slavery. Don't extend slavery. Don't extend slavery. There we go. Intellectuals have filled up in Ohio. Yeah, that whole war was a waste of time. We should have taken that over. I forgot that because we're more powerful than Mexico, we take over ownership. I should have just surrendered day one, because that affected us in no way whatsoever. Yeah, in fact, that hurt us quite a bit, because as a colonial power in North America, immigration is wildly necessary for our success, growth, and prosperity. But again, I expect to get like an hour or two out of this, just taking a look at this, thinking about things I might want to change, just getting a feel for it again. That's about it. That's about it. You know what? Here's an idea. I think development of HPM has stopped, but check most recent HPM build. There's no reason why I should be running on an older version. Okay, well, now that we're at peace, these tariffs are, like, entirely unnecessary, I think. Nope, still necessary. I had them at, like, 10%. Let's try 5%. Fuck it, 10% tariffs. You shouldn't be using tariffs. They're anathema to your economy, but, you know, for every rule, there's an exception. Let's do pacifism. What do we need the money for? Educating. Right now, mostly educating so we get better tech, and that doubles down. And get a positive feedback loop there, full citizenship. So we get stuff like that, which increases our taxes. Eventually, military expansion, though personally I'm not wanting to play up that element. You don't have to. It's typically beneficial. Wow, we got the liberals in power? How? How? What? The Whigs won? I mean, historically they won in 1840, but there's not... Don't question it. Don't question it, Alex. Just let it happen. Just let it happen. I don't know why they won. They shouldn't have won, but... Okay. Yeah, this whole diplomatic point system is a little antiquated. I think this is a remnant of, I can't remember if it's Europa Universalis 3 or 2 that this is derived from. And I may be misremembering this. This just may be a wholesale Victoria 2 thing. Again, it's clunky, old, and I hope they just introduce like a new diplomacy system entirely. It's sort of functional, but it doesn't really feel like you're interacting with these other powers. Not really. It just feels like you're making points go up. Labor unions, we will not turn our soldiers against labor unions. Solidarity forever, my dudes. Solidarity forever. You do you. Get out of New England. Kentucky intellectuals. And, yeah, the micromanagement is one thing, and I think important for a game like this, but the tedious micromanagement where it's just repetitious tasks, that's not great. Now, I think we should have gotten the event to annex Mexico by now, or we require the... God, it's been long enough. I kind of like when it's been long enough since I've played a game that I don't fully remember how the mechanics work, especially one that I've so heavily modded as Victoria 2, where that odd sense of mystery is reintroduced. This is pretty nice. Where the fuck was I going? Oh, I think we either need state and government to get the annexation event, or Texas does. One of the two. There's some check that's not getting checked right now. Sometimes it's instant, sometimes it's not. It's ahistoric either way. Texas citizenship? Statehood was long debated and long put off. I mean, the United States didn't directly intervene in their Revolutionary or Independence War because of fears of escalation with Mexico, and really just a lack of enthusiasm. The United States, a lot of elected officials in the United States just did not give a shit. It was far away from the East Coast, which was and is the population center of the country, was the political focus, and it was coming on the coattails of a lot of debates about budgetary stuff, really. We are declining in population because of the natural growth. Okay, yeah, because of the epidemic event we just got. Words are hard. Words are hard. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, get rid of the tariffs. Right. Because we have a new new party governing, we can fuck with the sliders in a way that we couldn't previously. Right. Good. What am I at? 50 a day, so let's call it 20 a day in surplus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cut taxes down to 35%. Yep, still running in the green. Trying to get it so that 100% are at least getting their life needs, but we'll see. Okay, what do people actually want? There is a Sioux liberation movement, which won't happen. The suffrage movement has a 35% militarism. That's insanely high to have this early. You want universal voting? Well, you haven't formed a, You're not 100% radicalized. So I can use this political momentum, just like is so often done in the United States and in the world, to cheat here. Currently, our voting system is first past the post. The candidate with the most votes wins. It's very undemocratic. Proportional representation is much more democratic, though it may lose us initially the upper house. We could also do upper house based on population, which is also very cool and very important. I'm going to do proportional representation first. Again, if we look at movements, they should be, yeah, fucking pissed that I picked something else. But the next time I can pick a reform, we basically have to do it, or they're going to be fully radicalized. You can cheese movements to get reforms that you as a player want once, really. Once per movement that you're taking advantage of. Oh, hey, Florida, no slavery. Conservatism, hard word to say. It's continuing to drop in popularity. Love to see it. We gonna make a compromise in the Webster-Ashburton Treaty? Yeah. Yeah, there's no reason to gain infamy right now, especially because I'm in the long term going to acquire this anyway. In vanilla, you couldn't. Historically, it was fairly unlikely given what the relations of United States and Canadian territories were at that time, but it was a possibility. Buyouts by America were considered in quite a few British North American colonies. End of the Second Seminole War. Man, I forgot how long that dragged on for. I can remove you from the United Kingdom sphere. Great. Population still isn't recovered. How long? How long does this shit last? It's insane. This is... Yep. I was like, one of these is almost definitely over 2%. Tennessee. Educate intellectuals over there. Can I... I didn't really pay attention to what was being affected by the pandemic. Yeah, but pandemic influence is influenza. Yep. That's what's killing us. Literally, the... Yeah, so I gotta do suffrage movement next, then I gotta restrict child labor. If I don't, these become radicalized. And you don't want that. So there you go, universal voting franchise, and so it's less weighted by... The votes are less weighted by wealth. Weighted by wealth was just not processing in my head. Leave the Underground Railroads. Even though we passed some... Oh! Restriction child labor has gone down to 58%, so I can actually ignore this and boost something else instead if they get enough support. Which would be nice. Because it makes the politics a lot easier to control, and, you know, I'm me. I want socialism to be be the big winner, and it will be. Just, you know, inevitably, socialism grows pretty consistently. It starts out a lot bigger than I thought it would. Just by moving the start date back to the beginning of the game. Which is realistic and not revisionist, I promise. Why did our income just go? Our income probably just went up because our population's starting to grow. The pandemic is over, so we'll celebrate by having a tax cut, except on the wealthy. Tax efficiency went up, which is great. Gets more out of the money that we're pulling out of people. North Carolina, how would you like to be educated? 2% for intellectuals is about where you want to be. For them to be most efficient. Every time the upper house is getting rearranged, conservative is losing 10%, 11%, 10%, 11%. And a lot of that is people are more educated, and just the material conditions are pulling people away from conservative values. That's the thing I love about the game so much, is these aren't irrational, weird movements that you can't make sense of. What people want so often comes down to what they need. Okay, no, we just need to restrict child labor. Because they're already close to being radicalized, and I don't want to push them anymore. Restricting child labor, however, has made our industries less profitable, so that's hit our bottom line. Slightly, we're still mostly in the green, unless this is consistently in the red. I'm not raising taxes, because we will recover, probably. By probably, I mean definitely. Population go up, new technology makes things cheaper, or makes us get more taxes. Really no reason not to. I think we might need Manifest Destiny before Texas asks for annexation, but I honestly can't remember. Gang liberals or gang conservatives? If we gang conservatives, they'll just get kicked out. But sure, give me the libs. Give me the libs. They'll get kicked out because they don't have the popularity, but I don't know how long that would last. Prestige is nice and like wildly important, which is not into. How did I click on Moldavia instead of Prussia? How did I misclick that? Don't think you've actually seen live gameplay of this one? Well, this is very heavily modded. This is my Vicky 2 mod. I'm mostly playing it to, Newfoundland's mine, bitch. To look at any rough edges or places where I want to change things, because with the project I've really, it's been about 6 months since I worked on it. I really hit a creative dead end. So I'm just poking around trying to see if anything strikes me. Yep, conservatism continues to drop, and we're really doing very little to make that happen. Very little to make conservatives less popular. Just educating people will do quite a bit. Red River Colony, you can't. Yeah, we'll remove you from the United Kingdom sphere of influence. Yeah, like, all of this is me. Hold up, that's wrong. Nope. All of this is me. Pretty much all of North America I've reworked in this mod. Okay, now we click the bad expansionist event. Texas has granted statehood. Mexico has refused. Well, Mexico, how big is your military? I can beat you. I can beat you without expanding our military. Mexican-American War, way early. Right? Mexican-American War was 1850s, right? No, 1846 to 1848. Man, I'm a historian and I don't remember shit. So it's 2 years early and we don't have any artillery, so this probably actually won't go super well. Digging cap, no. Combat with, maybe. Better artillery, probably. Better organization, maybe. Better morale and tactics is important. Let's set a... recruiting point down here. We are at war, but we're still allied. So we're cheating a little bit right now. You have 15,000 infantry of some sort. Probably irregulars. You might have upgraded to actual infantry. 6,000 cavalry. I have... No, that's artillery. The third one's artillery. Yeah, they have 2 units of artillery and 5 units of infantry. So I really don't want to fuck with that yet. Let's get some artillery going. Do I really wanna... Oh god, all of these are Dixie. Oh no. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. I forget the build. Victoria 2 unit composition. I think it's like... One cav, 4 infantry, 4 artillery, 1 engineer. That's not right. That ain't right. That ain't right at all. Go to the wiki. Go to the wiki. There's a fucking table for this, isn't it? No. There's not a table for this. For ease of management, some players prefer to build 3 infantry, 2 artillery. That's not right. Oh, God. This is something I kind of hate about Victoria 2, and I kind of hate about the mod changes how unit comp works. Yep. It does, but it keeps mostly the same guidelines. This is still mostly correct. This is what I was looking for. This is HPM, I think, 0.46, and this is my historical American submod, which you can find on my YouTube page, the link to the GitHub where that's at. I just didn't remember the... This is roughly right. 4 infantry, 5 artillery, 1 hussar. Yeah, this is roughly right. Attrition tends to be a bigger deal than it is in vanilla, but ballpark, that's right. How many infantry do I have? I immediately forgot. We want a 4-5-1, right? 4-5-1. 4-5-1, yep. And that'll... Tab. It's Victoria 2, Alex. You don't tab back into it. If you tab back into it, it takes a minute. Yeah, 1 infantry, 10 artillery, and I want to replace those cavalry once the war is over. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, and that'll fill up what we have now. Do I need to build an additional stack? No, 2 stacks would be enough to end this. I could afford a 3rd stack. Do I need a 3rd stack? No! I mean, Mexico's manpower has been pretty diminished. Should I do it? Yeah, probably. Nah. I don't need to take Canada. This submod, you might notice a few things are different here. This is not HPM. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I built this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's been a while. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not HPM. I didn't build HPM. And then, oh god, where was that last one? 1, 2, 3. Good enough. I'll just use vanilla composition because I know it. Do we need to up taxes? No. Again, wartime tariffs. Oh, I scared myself. I thought we had a fucking tariff. We don't need that. This is gonna hurt a bit. If we drop below 100k, I might readdress this, but for the time being, it's fine to run a deficit. In fact, most governments run deficits for a long time. Thomas Paine... was it Thomas Paine? No, not Thomas Paine. God, one of the founding fathers wrote about how important it was for modern, at the time, nations to run deficit economies, because the philosophy was that the deficits, let's go to Austin, not San Antonio, but now San Antonio because they're leaving, a deficit was considered an investment in the future. I know this is a bad fight because they have a defensive advantage because of the fort there. Where did you, they mobilized their reserves because it's the AI. And the AI loves to just throw manpower away. That's fine. Free trade's what we want. I don't want militarism, so we'll let this settle itself. We're probably gonna lose this, huh? Yeah, maybe don't march in on that. Maybe go to Austin. Maybe go to Houston. I forgot to build the army up prior to this. I forgot how fucking vicious Victoria 2 with this is. Do me a favor here. Nolans is too far to the front. Mobile. It's fine. What did we lose there? 7 infantry? Yeah, 7. Let's call it that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fortunately, this is mostly Dixie Pop, so I don't really care. In the long run, it serves to benefit us. Does the mod change anything special? This. All of this. All of these nations are me. All of the relationships and interactions and events related to them are me. The political rework of the United States, i.e., oh my god, if I can fucking open it. Socialism is unlocked from the beginning. Communism gets unlocked when communism actually started entering into popular theory, etc., etc. Those new changes are me. Did I set Biloxi here on accident? No. I just right-clicked there. It changes quite a bit. Quite a bit. Atheism isn't actually good for us right now because we have a lot of moralists. Pissing them off is not the best idea, so we're going to go for secularism. I think socialism's secular rather than... Nah, fuck the prestige. I'd rather have the tech points right now. Yeah, it changes quite a bit. I am horribly out of practice at actually playing the game. Hey, game, sure would love, infantries. Would love an infantry. Helping out Mexico in the French-Mexican War was a bad call. It was a very bad call. Because they should have lost a lot of manpower there, which they didn't. There you go. You're starting to take attrition. I'll split off a stack off of you, except there's no Hussars. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's basically 2 stacks. Move one up to Montgomery. Mobilize? No, fuck no. Mobilization is one of the worst things you can do for your economy in this game. Mobilization makes it so that... Yeah, I will end the campaign rather than mobilizing. It's just always a bad idea. I'm okay with us losing all these troops. And I need to make that very clear. I'm only hiring Dixie soldiers. I'm weakening the South's manpower base somewhat intentionally here. Who's your leader? Okay, Winfield Scott's fine. Joseph Porter, yeah, you're fine. Let's relocate the Cato. Get... Ooh, look, I got Clarksville. Clarksville, very, very exciting. Add Haiti to our sphere. Get out of here. I guess start with the Dominican Republic. Haiti does have a civil war with the Dominican Republic, but the AI is... It never wins. It's not scripted to win. Because the Dominican Republic, you know, exists. You gonna... No, you're just gonna go back. Okay, that's fine. I'll go into Baton Rouge. I'll go to Shreveport. You probably won't push. These are adjacent. Yeah. I should have built up a military earlier in the game. Where are you going, bud? Where are you going, Mexico? Okay, that's fine. It's fine. I'll see you. I'll see you when you catch up. Go through Clarksville. Thank you. Okay, this is not a full stack. No, this is a bad stack. It's got horses when I don't want it to have horses. You meet up in Houston. You meet up in Lake Charles. Yeah, basically, a lot of these nations can just be slowly integrated over time if you have them in your sphere of influence. The United States can get basically the entirety of Canada, because there's historical precedent for it, and I go over that in exhaustive detail in my videos detailing, designing, and working on the mod. It's a historical improvement submod with a priority and a focus on North America. I need 2 more artillery for you. Build artilleries. I have 1 more in Dixie. Bad math, Alex. Bad math. You don't need that. Get out of there. Boop, boop. And that'll do. I don't need more than 3 stacks to win this. Yucky. Wait, are you at war with Mexico? No. No. No, I don't need an alliance with the Yaqui, but that'd be amazing. Absolutely amazing. Hey, buddy. Look, I actually have an army that the game didn't hand me. One that's somewhat balanced. You're going to El Paso. What are you doing from there? Did you get military access? Nope. What's the war goal? Acquire all gold. Okay. This is gonna take a while. You can handle that. You go to Mexico City, all the way down the coast. No, I don't want an alliance with the Cree. I know I could just right-click it, but meh. And then you should pull up the rear. They're probably gonna sneak and reoccupy some stuff. Anti-American Slavery Society. Anti-American Society. Whoops. Anti-Slavery Society. No, they're fine. You're going to Laredo. I don't want to attack you in Laredo, but I'd be happy to cut you off in Austin. Though, yeah, let's go to Austin. Matamoros. Generally, when somebody has artillery, you don't want to attack them. This has a river crossing. Yeah, you're definitely... This also has a river crossing. Fine, reoccupied Laredo, see if I care. I do is the thing. I kind of care, because I don't want this to go on forever. I care a little bit. Force through trinket pensions. Sure. Oh no, the economy. Fuck the economy. Tariffs, which are bad for the economy, but I don't care, and then we tax the rich more. But Alex, if you tax the rich, they won't be able to build stuff. I would be happy if they don't. Now, the Guano Islands Act is in HPM, so that's still in. I have not removed... Well, that's not true. I was gonna say I haven't removed anything from HPM. I've only added things. I've reworked, let's say, a couple of things. Just a couple. Okay, yeah. We are actually going to have to attack them at some point. God, I don't want to. Especially not in numbers. Fine, you go to Laredo, you're going to San Antonio, so I can follow up with this, and then... You're just gonna keep working your way down to the El Capital. You know what? No. I'm just gonna keep this game going, because you're gonna push forward to do this. Yep. So I'm gonna go here. I'm happy to attack you if there's no river crossing. Just overjoyed to attack you if there's no river crossing. Take Mexico City. Yeah, you're both going there. Bam. And it's gone. And it's gone. And this is... farmland? Yeah, so we can push on that too. Might have been stupid. Just got that morale bonus. Might have been late. Might have overestimated our capacity to beat Mexico this early when I've been ignoring all military techs. I won't use the Organized Indian Territory event. It's bad. It's just bad. Organized Indian Territory, I'll elaborate on why it's bad. What it does is Native American pops gain consciousness but lose militancy. They're so small that neither of those things matter. Fort Gibson gets renamed, and I think Fort Washita gets renamed, losing militancy in the native pops. They're not militant. You don't need to do that. There's no benefit to doing that. If you look at the movements, Mexicans, yeah. Socialists, sure. Slaves, yeah. Natives, no. They're never an issue. All it does is cost you pops that'll slowly culturally assimilate, or that you'll eventually come to accept. So it's absolutely a waste. Like most of the events that Reorganize or Trail of Tears, all of those are just mechanically bad decisions. And also, you know, like ethically and morally bad decisions, but but just speaking from the mechanics, it's not great. Okay. War's over. War's won. There's no way Mexico can come back from that. And you'd think that the AI would be aware of that fact, but no. No, we're gonna have to suffer through this war for quite some time. I should probably split these stacks up so they stop taking attrition, and by that I mean I'm gonna split these stacks up so they stop taking attrition. Well, so the attrition's a bit more reasonably distributed. This may be a misstep, and I'm gonna say that now because I know Mexico still has an army. It can still rebuild its army. It's fine. It's fine. I'll keep an eye on it. If I had a navy, it'd be easier to keep an eye on it, but meh. Ah, the good old days of carpet sieging. You missed this? No. What? My god. What an anomaly. Hell yeah, war's over. Nope, I'm keeping everything, baby. No slavery. Okay. Done. You can go here, you can go San Antonio. What's the supply? Yeah, you cannot stay there. You go to Austin. Is Laredo big enough? Yep. You two meet back up in Laredo. War's over. Easy peasy. Damn. Oh my god, I've ignored... I've ignored these, so we have a disproportionate number of intellectuals in quite a few areas. That's fine. That's fine. It's not bad to have over 2%. It's just not efficient to have over 2% intellectuals. Or clergy, I think they are in vanilla. 2% is just about where you hit the right ratio to the benefit that you're getting. Oh, I'm unfortunately quite American, yeah. Illinois assimilation. I don't care. We don't need to do this. No, don't need to assimilate Illinois. Los Altos? Yeah, Los Altos is still in the... Yeah, I don't need an alliance with you. Give me the prestige. Gadsden Purchase is very unnecessary now. Although, Gadsden Purchase does have an option in HPM to acquire Sonora and Sinaloa. Though I don't think the AI really ever goes for it. It's still an option. So by skipping over that, we are skipping over the potential of acquiring a bit more territory. Now, I should probably reorganize this, but I'm not going to. I recognize I should do something, but I'm gonna not. Sympathy strikes. Curtail local press, or time is on our side. Give the socialists more awareness, but don't, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will go away once the resupply finishes. This is what's really expensive right now. Administration's actually pretty expensive too. But once these refill, won't be an issue. I could instead just downsize our military, which is largely what you did in peace times. So the First Nations, there are events with all the First Nations linked to historical events when treaties were signed with them and the federal government of the United States to surrender their independence, or treaties that were used to steal their independence or land. And the treaties will specifically get into that. I clicked over the one with the Caddo pretty quickly that we had in 1845, I think, here, but we'll see the additional ones pop up as we go through. If we check out politics here, the decisions will show you when they become available. Like the Bear Springs Treaty is 1853, 1848 for California, 1849 for the Calhoun Treaty, 1850 for the Treaty of Fort Laramie, 1852 for Treaty with the Apache, 1853 for the Treaty with the Comanche and the Kiowa, 1855 for the treaties of 1855, and there are just a shit ton of them. Treaty with the Paiute in 1858, treaties with Alaskan natives in 1868, roughly, and then there's a few bullshit filler events for if Canada doesn't annex and doesn't sign the first treaties, you can move in after the fact and acquire First Nations in what is now modern-day Canada. Administrative efficiency is nice. I'd like that. Education efficiency is very, very nice. Very tempting, but because we're having monetary problems right now, I'm gonna, think a little bit about the taxes. 2%. Okay, Missouri has no intellectuals. New Jersey has no intellectuals. Let's boost that. There we go. Law change. Movement. Are you... Yep, you are militant. Okay, you want a minimum wage? You got it. You got it. No problem. I was hoping to take advantage of that in another way. Jesus Christ, in another way, but I guess not. We're going to reduce military spending even more. Honestly, dump it down to 10%. I don't care. Let's call it an emergency tariff at 20%. Again, tariffs are generally bad, and you should avoid them. Drop administrative spending to 30%. Bring taxes on the lower and middle class up to 40%. And we didn't green out, really. Fair colonial progress. All capitalists gain consciousness. Oklahoma gets a higher life rating. By 1. Sure. Life rating does affect the attractiveness of an area to foreign immigrant pops, so it's sort of important, but sort of not. God damn it! Yeah, the stockpile purchases are what's killing us right now. If we look at this, education is only about 86, administration's about the same, social spending's about 300, which is fine. That pays back into the system. Military spending is negligible. Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, I think, is in HPM to start with. Yeah, it's just this fucking thing that's killing me. It's the artillery that's so expensive right now. And this is all at full. Oh, right. What am I doing? We're not at war. We can turn that down. We can turn that all the way down. Because I don't need it. I don't need the stockpile. Because the troops aren't doing anything. Right. Dummy. There we go. Yeah, okay, that's where the issue was coming from. More socialist or more reactionary? Hey, no. Wait, rich strata become more reactionary, or poor strata, or work middle class become more socialist? I'm fine with socialists. A lot of the art here is original. Yeah, and by original, I don't mean I made it. Some of it I made, but the vast majority of it came from historical documents or photos. Like, this is a reference photo. This is a historical photo. I made this. I touched all of these up, but a lot of these come from maps from the time period. The background events, not this one. I did, man, all of these events are based around, like, liberal versus reactionary, because that was the language at the time. But in modern context, socialist is really the right word for a lot of nascent labor movements in the 1900s and 20th century. Ooh, that. Dominican Republic. Oh boy, I can add coffee and tobacco to my sphere. Wonderful. We get priority in buying something we produce a shit ton of. Now I think... Wow, we actually got to this before any gold was found here. That's incredible. These two have the population to actually hold a decent military... hold a military. But they always just attack each other. Rather than, yeah, you know what, Dominican Republic, you're in my sphere of influence, I'll say yes to an alliance, even though it'll mean nothing. These two actually fight like an endless war. But at the time, and you know, you really can't teach the AI this, at the time, the raids between them definitely happened, but there was a growing consciousness of the dangers and a wariness of settlers being a shared antagonist. I mean, we can look at the wars that happened right before this time period in the United States between First Nations and the settlers of the United States, particularly like Tecumseh's War, and vast coalitions of different nations, tribes, and cultures standing up against Anglo settlement. Underground Railroad, leave it be. The place renaming for the organizing Indian territories, it's pretty dumb. Like, things like Fort Wichita and Fort Gibson get called something else, but that's really it. It's not worth it. I'm not clicking the button. I'm not clicking the button because it's a, hey, you want to do a genocide? And it is a genocide if you're killing, moving people and killing them in the process. You want to do a genocide just to rename something? Like, nah. Nope. If I were gonna do it, I would have done it. California Treaty of Peace and Friendship. You're generally supposed to get a gold event before this happens, but it hasn't happened yet. So we're going to get the benefit of the first gold rush event, giving our national immigration boost. They already had their genocide. No, they didn't. Genocide doesn't just happen once. Indigenous people, First Nations in the United States have been subjected to genocide from the arrival of the first settlers in this continent to the modern day. It's not really a process that just stopped. The violence and theft of native lands never really stopped. It's slowed down a lot, but talking about it like it's a past event, especially when we're talking about 1848, it's definitely not in the past. First Nations populations continued to drop in surveys until, oh god, like the 1920s and 30s is when the population finally started to stabilize and rebound. Native populations were declining. The vanishing native, or vanishing Indian concept came about at this time because they were still being killed. You can't steal land that wasn't owned. Yeah. Well, that's one way to look at it. It is. There's another way to look at it. Moving in to a people who don't, and I banned the person for context. Moving into another continent and a people that have a concept of shared ownership. And being like, well, you don't have our asinine way of marking land ownership, which derives from feudalism, ultimately, and monasticism. Well, you don't practice this in exactly the same way, therefore you don't own it. It's a wild misconception that indigenous people didn't know or didn't have an idea of land ownership. They thought that they belonged to the land as much as it belonged to them, and this is very broad strokes. Right, this isn't one homogenous culture. various cultures, various nations, and various people approached the idea and relationship of territory and land very differently. Like the Sioux, Comanche, and other more mobile tribes in the Great Plains particularly had very real concepts of where their hunting grounds ended and another nation's hunting grounds began. They had concepts like this. It's a wild revisionist and exceptionalist idea to go, oh, well, they were simple. They didn't know what they were talking about when it came to land. No, they did. There's a story that gets passed around a lot about New York was bought for like 5 fucking beads and a whatever. That wasn't a product of them not having a sense of land ownership or the value of the land. At the time, it wasn't very valuable land, mind you. It was mostly marshland. It's just so fucking disgusting how often this notion that, indigenous people were just naive and ignorant and they needed to be sheltered. No, they were people, and we murdered them en masse. We stole their land. They were relocated. They were rounded up in camps. They were the victims of just endemic sexual assault, physical assault. California, the enslavement in the original California Constitution, the enslavement of native peoples was legalized and stayed legalized for quite some time. Painting the history of North America, the history of the United States, is anything but a stellar project in genocide, land theft, and imperialism is wrong. Just wrong. I'm quick on that ban trigger, and I'm not sorry for it. It's not my fucking job to teach people. I will, but nah, that has no place here. All bans can be appealed. We don't have a strict appeal policy here, but really it's gonna look like, write me an essay as to why you were wrong, and how you understand things differently now. Leftists with their cancel culture, hating my frozen peach. Yep, hate freeze peaches. Hate them. Some channels, left-wing vets, I bring them up a lot because great people, have a policy of if somebody's not being an ist, if they're not being racist, classist, sexist, transphobic, whatever, then they can stick around. Man, if I don't enjoy talking to you, you can fucking go. That's more where I'm at. Just like, nah, goodbye. Wow, much higher assimilation rate, immigration rate. We can put off this common school movement once, I think, before pissing them off to the point where they become militant. I do want the common school movement. The education efficiency boost and immigrant attractiveness is really nice. Assimilation rate is kind of nice. It's a double-edged sword. You want to assimilate immigrants, particularly, but also having immigrant populations, say North German populace, makes it more likely for other North German populations to immigrate as well. But if they assimilate, then they become Yankee and not North German, and that attraction boost goes away. So it's really a double-edged sword. 14-hour wage, minimum safety regulations, factory cost goes up, factory maintenance goes up. I don't even remember this specific thing that I'm like, no, you know what, yeah, out of here. Just, genocide denialism. Oh, no, specifically it was saying that indigenous people didn't have a concept of land ownership, and I'm not here to fucking They really, 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 really wanted me to click the Organized Indian Territory so they could see some font change. And I said no. And then they kept saying please, and I said no and explained why I didn't want to do it. Because fictional genocide, even if it is only fictional, doesn't justify text change. Don't fucking DM me. That's a good way to make sure I never unblock you. That text change is never good enough reason for fictional genocide, and like, well, they didn't have an idea of land ownership. They did though. They definitely did, and I'm just here to test my fucking mod project. I'm not here to tell more ignorant people how shit worked. I'm good. Interventionism, good? State capitalism, better, but I don't want to dredge up militancy here. Except it is kind of owned when it's been lived on for people by thousands of years. Yeah, when people have improved the land. So ownership. This is great. I've studied colonial land ownership laws, so please fuck off with this. Not you, Pizza Vu, but anyone bringing up these sentiments. Please fuck off forever with this sentiment. Land ownership was, in like the fucking 15 and 1600s, qualified by, has the person made improvements to the land? Improvements typically from a settler's perspective meant permanent year-round settlement. We know now, as a matter of fact, there are permanent year-round settlements all throughout this area, this area, this area. We know for a fact Cahokia was a massive city. Massive year-round settlement. Cahokia is still, like, very impressive. Even if we're talking about tribes along this area, they made improvements to the land in terms of paths, in terms of crops, in terms of... They didn't live where they had the crops because they only tended to the crops in the fall or the spring or when they really needed to. They practiced a different kind of agricultural practice, but it was still an improvement. So the settlers used this excuse as, well, I don't see a fucking flag on it, I don't see a house on it, therefore, you don't own this, it's mine now. And that law, that usage law, is still the fundamental basis in the United States of land ownership. If land goes too long without an improvement or some kind of claim on it, then your ownership becomes de facto revoked or rescinded. Now, none of these are the right words. Surrendered, right? It's not yours anymore. So still this very troubled conceptualization of land ownership and improvement is still at the heart, really the heart, there's our Gold Rush events, of a lot of problematic land ownership politics in the United States. Free trade, I don't know. Is that gonna stay in the green? Yeah, that'll stay in the green, barely, but we're good. It's generally like horrible decorum, if you're unaware, to, if you are blocked by anyone on any social media platform, to not go through the, especially on Twitch where there is a way to ask to be unblocked through the channel page, to DM someone. No, you can go to hell. Well, there's 729 people, but they are very serious about safe working conditions. And like, it's not the end of the world if you can't post in chat anymore. You're not forbidden from watching the content. You just you can't sit with us. Yeah. No, I grew up being taught the same bullshit as so many other people about the United States in North America being just like empty virgin territory prior to the arrival of European settlers. And having studied indigenous histories in this country, having studied archaeology, anthropology, and just even Western history in this country, it's such a lie. It's such an appalling lie, and blatant lie at that. If you look at why it's continually taught and how it's continually taught, it's just a stack of lies on top of a stack of lies that were originally written by people trying to steal these people of their life, their land, and their property. Great shit. Love to talk about it. Not at all depressing to think about. Slave market is repulsive. We don't do that here. I don't really want to be attracting immigrants to New York particularly. Really, right now I should be boosting like soldiers in here. But nah, that's fine. He stays free. I think I mostly want to, because I've been streaming for a while. The end cap for this is going to be maybe like 1860. I want to make sure all of these events are firing off okay, especially that the partition of the Three Fires Confederacy fires all right. And then after that, I'm probably done for the night anyway. This isn't meant to be a long-form campaign, obviously. I just wanted to look in, see what I liked, see what I didn't like, and ooh, no, we're not immigrating to Virginia. Get out of here. New England, yes, but Virginia, no. We don't want more people going to the south. Because I think it's still impossible in HPM to avoid the Civil War. I clicked whichever one gave more liberal. I didn't even read the text. Reading text is for squares. We don't need any of this. Medicine, kinda nice. Supply limit, actually important. Supply limit would have saved us a lot of casualties in the Mexican-American War. Well... they were Southerners anyway, it's fine. Yeah, continuing to bleed conservatives. Getting a little bit of everything else. Secessionist sentiments, here we go. Now it starts. Fugitive Slave Act, no returning escaped slaves. Barring bills on slavery issue? No thanks. Nashville Convention. Several representatives from southern states oppose the talk of secession if we endorse a convention between them. Sure, you know. Try not to secede, but you're gonna do it anyway. I know better than you that you're gonna leave. Yeah, when playing games like this, I also tend to pick the ones that increase the level of my real-life political inclination, so sometimes things are ... yeah. Kind of fucky, right? Like, in Victoria 2, so often the way it works, and it's really weird and uncomfortable, you have to pick the decisions doing the opposite of what you personally, ethically, individually would do in order to boost the popularity of whatever ideology you are. It's very counterintuitive, and I kind of hope that they address that in Vicky 3. It's realistic, right? If a fascist, say like Donald Trump, passes legislation which is fascist, say like, oh, I don't know, a lot of things that they passed, then you will get a reactionary movement from the left pushing against that. You'll get a reactionary movement from moderates pushing against that. So the attractiveness of the opposing ideology will grow. That's realistic. Unfortunately, when mousing over the decision, I can see what's going to happen. I can math out which is better for actually, you know, the eventual revolution, right? Here's what I'm talking about. Talked about earlier. California Act for the Government and Protection of Indians, Chapter 133 of the California State Legislature in their Constitution. This act, historically passed by the first session of the California State Legislature, allowed for the legal enslavement of Californian natives by white settlers through the use of apprenticing of children and the punishment of vagrants by hiring them out to the highest bidder at a public auction between $24,000 to $27,000 native peoples would be taken as forced laborers in the following years. Although amended in 1860, this act would not be repealed in its entirety until 1937. We're going to repeal that immediately. What really fucked with me while playing this, I'm not doing anything about this. I'm taking all of you. We're going to California. We're going to California. We're going to vacation in California. We're just going to let the militant socialists have their way over there, because I'm actually okay with it. Have fun. Yeah, they just suppressed. I didn't suppress anyone. Well, that's fine. Maybe it was an event that I suppressed them. Voters' rights? What do you want? Acceptable school system? I can't do voters' rights, so we're gonna do... Everybody are allowed rights here. That's not what anyone wants. Go ahead. Occupy DC. Force me to have a socialist government. See if I get mad. No, don't go. Don't go. Come back. Damn it. Aww. The revolution will wait another day. That's okay. That's okay. Okay, yeah, perhaps sending all of you off to... You know what? Just disband all. Just disband all, because I don't actually want most of those pops to be... That's a problem, though. Jacobins are a problem. Existent. Where was I recruiting? Mobile? Yeah, let's get out of here. We're up in DC. Let's build our army. I want L1 Hussar from Ohio. Then I want 5 artillery from 1. All these are in the south. All these are in the south. All these are in the south. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the South has a lot of soldier pops in, like a lot of soldier pops in HPM and in vanilla. And like, American communists, hell yeah, dude. Communism isn't even allowed yet. No, it has become, right, communism was discovered over in Europe a short while ago. I don't know why there's such a huge number of soldiers in the South. I really don't, because historically there weren't really that many there. I think it's for some stupid balance reason, but I really don't understand it. Out of all the leftist labels, what would you consider yourself? Marxist? Like, I'm definitely Marxist, in terms of, like, my emphasis on theory, materialism, and the dialectic, which is to say, Marxism is mostly just a critique of capitalism. Specifically, I'm a socialist, which doesn't help at all because Marxism is a political socialist or philosophy. It's more of an economic philosophy, actually. Syndicalist is probably where I am. A syndicalist, you probably know what it is if you've watched me play Kaiserreich or you're aware of Kaiserreich. It believes that trade unions, labor unions, and other local kind of unions should be the basis of political and social organization. Basically, I believe in a democratization of society where a bottom-up power structure rather than a top-down power structure where local communities, states, cities, towns, regions, whatever, have a lot more autonomy, a lot more voice, a lot more power than they do now. Federal government is more of a national Congress than... I think the Senate is just entirely anti-democratic. Having a singular head of state rather than a Speaker of the House is undemocratic. I'm not in favor of either of those institutions. The impermeability of the judicial system, of the law, is also, like, pretty authoritarian and unresponsive. So I'm like a syndicalist-ish. Like, I'm a lot of ists on the left. There's a lot of things that have a lot of appeal. Like anarchists, I have a lot of mad respect for. Am I one? No. But I have a lot of respect for them. Ah, yeah. Good old Peter Burnett, piece of shit. That a war of extermination will continue to be waged between the races until the Indian race becomes extinct must be expected. California Governor Peter Burnett. California, January 6th, 1851. Oh, he's wrong. More gold rush. Okay, fine. Raise the priority of this so our troops can actually start forming up. I don't mind these very much. It's fine. It really depends on the anarchist, man. You can get a wide array of people who consider themselves anarchists. Technically, libertarianism is, the full name is libertarian socialism. Like, the root of a lot of movements are there's a lot of gray area and a lot of overlap that makes it kind of hard to categorize. Some anarchists are great. They care a lot about mutual aid. They care a lot about working in their community. They care about, like, actually organizing, helping, and caring for their neighbors. Then you got some edgelords who are just like, I don't want to be told what to do. The government can't tell me what to do. All I want to do is, like, not actually organize. And that's more just an antisocial piece of shit who's selfish and doesn't really care about anyone. But both of them will call themselves anarchists. A lot of getting to know people and their political philosophy, to me, boils down to what is it you actually do, right? Not what you say you are, but what you do. Like me, I spend a lot of my time educating people, encouraging people to organize, encouraging people to unionize, encouraging people to support local causes that are progressive and revolutionary. I spend a lot of my effort on that, right? So I'm definitely a socialist, definitely a Marxist. Do I do the syndicalist thing so much? Probably not. I'm not in a union because I'm not employed right now, right? So kind of difficult to do that. But I encourage other people to, and I preach the philosophy, so kinda. Then you get a lot of, like, Twitter leftists who spew all the right theory, but then do nothing but sit on Twitter all fucking day, trash talking each other, don't even donate money to any causes, don't organize locally, don't even fucking vote. And you're not really a socialist then, right? You're not really a leftist. You're just a piece of shit on the internet. You're a lib. You're a lib who likes pretending to be a socialist at that point. Yeah. Now we recognize Liberia's independence. I don't want that colony. I disagreed on a lot of things, but it was good seeing another political perspective, boys, and sharing each other's views. It's really nice when you can do that respectfully. I'm open to that, and I've done that on this channel. But today particularly is an example of, I just gotta draw the line when people are straight up wrong about something, or when they're belligerently wrong about something. And I'm sure they probably didn't mean offense for it. I'm sure that they were just being ignorant. But you know what? I don't have the bandwidth for it. I've had a few people on here for a while that would, like, kind of try to talk about being a moderate and be respectful, but, like, a lot of, when you point out the logical or moral or ethical inconsistencies with certain philosophies, people can get offended, or people can just start being belligerent, so it's really difficult to approach that. I genuinely feel that it's possible, and really the best thing we could do with one another is to try and genuinely engage, but so often people aren't really willing to fully, genuinely engage, right? Superficially, absolutely, but not genuinely. So we're getting all of these revolts for a couple of reasons. Taxes are too fucking high. People aren't getting their needs met. Yeah, middle class aren't getting their needs met because taxes are too high, because I raised these and forgot to bring them down. And I'm being a piece of shit with the reforms I let them have. And also, unlocking socialism at an early start, earlier than when the game intended, it has some really interesting knock-on effects that make all these revolts kind of troubling. Now, it's worth pointing out, I talk a lot about the importance of, you know, organizing and, you know, speak quite fondly of the idea of revolution, and yet, Alex, you're using your military to crush Jacobins. Jacobins suck. I'm not a Jacobin. I don't like Jacobins. Jacobins were largely opposed to the industrialization of society because it minimalized the role of the individual within the society. And there's some very real critique there, but I'm also a huge proponent of the value of industrialization, modernization, technology, so it's a little tricky. Yeah, we'll get a Dakota Hussar. Yeah, it's hard to structure being a respectful discussion. Dialogue is a better word. Discussion is a bad root word. Discussion has the same root word as concussion or concussive, typically meaning a loud exchange of discourse. A dialogue is a mutual exchange of ideas. But, and here's the thing. If I know you, right, if you're a channel regular, we can have a dialogue. If this is your first time in chat, tread lightly, man, because I don't fucking know you, I don't owe you anything, and likewise, you don't owe me a damn thing. So, I'm pretty likely to be like, hey, I don't want to engage with your political philosophy right now. I don't want to teach you. Go away. Thankfully, you're in a political alignment that doesn't disagree with crushing dissent with military force. Dissent is good. Dissent is an individual right? But violent dissent, and by violence, I mean personal violence. I mean hurting another human being. Property violence? I don't give a fuck about that. I don't give a shit if you burn down a building so long as no one gets hurt. I do care if you kill someone. I do care if your philosophy or politics keep people homeless. I do care if your philosophy forces people into prison. I do care, real personal violence. But property violence I don't care about. So people scaremongering about like those damn Antifas and all that rioting, that's not real violence, man. Ain't nobody getting hurt. Or its businesses getting hurt. And to that I say, good. Fuck them. If they're small businesses, I my sympathies extend. But the vast majority of targets by anarchists in the United States within the last year have been very problematic companies, individuals, largely just the police. Bit of a faux pas to bring up controversial topics or immediately run opposing to a person upon meeting them in most circumstances. Isn't it? Yeah. No, absolutely. And again, I am a very reasonable, well-studied, even-keeled person. But if you're coming up in my business with some nonsense, I'm quick on the trigger. Because I've said this time and time again, I do this for me, for my enjoyment, and I get to be fickle. If I'm not having fun with a game, stop playing it. If I don't enjoy having someone around, they're not around. I'm very particular about the kind of communities that I foster, participate in, and it's a nice privilege. It's a very nice privilege to be able to do that. I do that in physical in-person spaces as well. The amount of people I've thrown out of parties that I've hosted because they've been handsy, or because they've been racist or sexist or transphobic or whatever else. I've thrown a lot of people out of Fine, I'll take the inflation. A lot of physical spaces that I've been in. Reminds you of how you had to give somebody an ultimatum last year? Yeah. And so often what comes from ultimatums, for good or for ill, are people feeling like, you're trying to silence me, you're trying to cancel me, you yada yada yada, you just aren't tolerant. And no, I'm not tolerant. I'm not. Tolerance has a paradox. If you're tolerant of everyone, you're tolerant of some pretty caustic, terrible views, And I'm not. I'm not. There are some views Nazis deserve to be removed from any political apparatus in any way that they can make any kind of meaningful impact on society. I wouldn't say killed. No, I don't advocate for violence ever. Ever. But re-educated? Helped? Sure, absolutely. But no, never violence. Not me. If I see a Nazi getting punched on the streets of Seattle, what's my reaction? Oh, well, I might smile, but, you know, I'm not advocating for anything. I'm just reacting to the moment. And it happens here quite a bit. Beautiful. Beautiful. Look at all those tracts of land. Yeah, it's not pleasant for anyone. Ultimatums suck. I've learned as I've gotten older that ultimatums they're not effective for getting what you want. If you threaten someone to get what you want, you may get it, but if it's under duress, you're not getting it in good faith. Not getting it in good faith at all. And what you're likely going to get out of that interaction is just putting off the real conflict until that person can safely get away from you. Safely get space from you. Oh my god. Yeah, alright, fine. I guess we're gonna start encouraging fucking soldiers up here. I don't want to. You can also encourage soldier growth by promoting military spending. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that because that'll uniformly boost soldier growth, and I don't want it to grow down here. Yeah, it's much easier to have ultimatums online than offline. True. Yeah, I'm really not afraid to, though. Okay. Suppress the society. God, I wish these decisions were easier to read what they did. And again, God willing, Vicky 3, they'll make it easier. What time is it? Wow, it's 12:30. I don't know if we're gonna make it to 1860. Gonna try and hang in there, but I clicked on the other window to minimize the clock. I'm bad. I don't really care to do the Civil War. I've done that enough times. I really just want to make sure all of these events are working. I know they do. To feel out how it feels to play through them, it's feeling okay. It's a little slow-paced, and like a little... It's not clear why which dates you're able to get different ones, but it's all based on history, so, like... I have a bit of an out there. I believe I'm rather proficient at alienating people by now. You know, it's a talent. Is it a good one? Probably not, but it's an ability. Pro-military get mad at this. I have a decent amount of pro-military. Let's just slowly anti-military. Denounce fat cat profiteering. For sure. My god. Oh man, I just realized I never signed into ESO today. So I haven't done my dailies, which means after I'm done with this, I'm gonna need to pop on that, do that. Oh well. I assume it's your internet. Let me double check that it's not on my end. Because it used to be that it would be on my end. It is not on my end. I have 0 drop frames. Looking at the upload history, it's consistently correct. It might be a Twitch issue, too. Might not be you. Sometimes it is absolutely on Twitch when the bitrate gets bad. Even on very prolific streamers who put way more money into this than I do, Twitch doesn't prioritize certain people. Me, perhaps. I'm not prioritized, so if there's a high bandwidth usage of the site, Smaller streams get de-emphasized. There's nothing crazy going on right now, so I doubt it's... it might be that. I doubt it's that, though. Never meant to imply it was your end. No, it's fine. Anytime anyone brings it up, I'm always like, oh shit, is it me? The reason I thought to check is it used to be, like I was talking about earlier, it used to be often on my end, so I'm like, oh fuck. I hope new internet provider isn't being bad. And they're not, seemingly. Seemingly not being bad. Seemingly they're great, which is weird and I don't trust it. The Grattan Massacre, we apologize and give concessions. I'm not escalating any of these fucking conflicts. I'm immediately taking the de-escalate option. There's no reason to go with the escalate option. They're always bad. But hey, if you're a raging racist, or if you want to live through the depressing, harrowing real history of the United States, knock yourself out. It's an option. I would not recommend it. It is a great way to get depressed. Which is another big reason I stopped working on this mod. It's just the soul-crushing depression of reading about and researching just the inhumane actions of Americans towards indigenous people in this time period and in the modern day, but particularly in this time period. I think I'm gonna want 3 stacks and I'll stop at that. When we're around like 100,000 troops, that'll be more than good enough. I know the South gets a lot of troops event spawned in. I can't remember how many. That doesn't really matter because I may never pick this up again, but you know, I don't want another Mexican-American war where all I have are a bunch of fucking cavalry and infantry that I didn't build. Alright, UK. Yeah, I know we're having our spat, but like me. Russia, we maxed out. We are not maxed out. Germany, we good? Yeah, we're good. Spain, I'm gonna keep boosting even though we will inevitably end up at war with you. Have a giant bias against Americans and read a bit on this, so maybe I should read a bit about American colonialism. It's hard to find reliable sources in the United States. Anyway, God, the United States has so much revisionism when it comes to settlement of the U.S. and the seizure of land, and it's getting easier to find reliable, accurate resources, but even I've had to dig quite a bit. And God, most Americans are just in deep denial about it too. Do I want administrative efficiency? I want education efficiency. I want administrative efficiency because this can also give us tax efficiency, and money is not a huge issue, but it will become a huge issue later. Yeah, revisionism and propaganda are universal, but America excels at them. The United States absolutely excels at them. Especially the invention. I talked about this a little bit yesterday. Time is very confusing. Time is an illusion. A while ago. Yesterday, day before, I talked about consumerism and the... Yeah, this just renames them, right? Yes. This event doesn't do anything bad. Good old Seattle. Seattle, yep, this is all Seattle. Anyone who tells you otherwise are liars. Olympia is rightfully just a outlying city, or a district of Seattle. And they know it. Don't let them tell you otherwise. It's all Seattle. It's all Seattle, and it always has been. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we can stop with this soldier growth. That's all I want for now. U.S. isn't as invasive and holistic in revisionism as China, is it? They're both bad. I don't even know how you'd do a comparative analysis. I don't know how you'd compare the two. Because, like, seriously, in public schools in the United States, we're taught next to nothing about the centuries-long genocides of Native peoples. We're just told about, like, maybe the Trail of Tears. Maybe, like, the Indian Removal Act. And that's about it. When is a long documented history. We've erased so much history very intentionally in this country. But China is actively doing so as well. So I don't know. They're both revisionist. I don't know how to compare the two. I really don't know how to accurately compare them. Attributing various things to itself, China has? Yeah, it definitely has. The United States does that a little bit too. But not as much as China's done. China, I went to college with someone who was from mainland China. I forget where. Oh, fuck, I said okay to the Mormon Exodus. Well, that's fine. That doesn't hurt us. It just consolidates Mormons in Utah. Oh my god, cursed! Who thought that, the first humans evolved in China. I'm like, no, the first Homo sapiens evolved in here somewhere. Definitely not China. And it took him so long to back away from that understanding. Yeah. Well, I think China's probably... I don't know. You know, not being not living in China, I'm not faced with a lot of these small steps of revisionism over time. It's more in the United States where I can very actively see the news, for example, just straight up lying about something or something to that effect. So it's a lot more day to day here. Fuck, we're revisionist even in, like, modern event. No! The United Kingdom acquired Newfoundland. Okay, yep. That event where Newfoundland was kicked out of our sphere of influence. They got in the United Kingdom sphere of influence before I could get them back. And the UK can also annex Newfoundland, because they did. For a long time, Newfoundland was de facto considered part of the United Kingdom, was not considered a part of Canada. That is a fucking shame. Cursed. I didn't do everything perfectly. Throw it away and start over. Well, that's fine. Oh yeah, I added this to the game. First American kindergarten. It's nice seeing stuff I've added and being like, oh yeah, I did this. All of these fucking wars, I'm like, I did this. Quick, go through it as quickly as possible. Better taxes, love to see it. Comanche raids in Texas worsen. Yeah, that's a thing that happened. The Texan Comanche wars were not well documented, but some crazy shit happened out west during this time period. Some absolutely crazy stuff. Things bad enough that I did not include them in this mod when it comes to, like, just personal atrocities, like the treatment of individuals. There are some deeply disturbing and harrowing stories. Oh, yeah. Comprehensive education policy? Yeah? Or... No, comprehensive education policy, that's fine. Sympathy strike. Time is on our side. It's not, comrade. It's on mine. It's so weird to have the Republicans in power so long. Really, the Democrats held power in the United States, at least the presidency, for the longest time in this time period. Fire eaters, but all men were created equal. Yep. Have you? Okay. They haven't released Columbia yet. But once they do, I need to keep an eye on this for acquiring it. The United Kingdom does it by event, I think, at a certain date. Which allows Canada, if it's still free and independent, which it's not. Oh shit, it is. Wait, is it? It's in my sphere. Okay, yeah. Rebels have risen up in Hawaii. Oh no! Hawaiian reactionaries, that's fine. Time is on our side. Yeah, I might make, like, the one change I pointed out, that we shouldn't start out with the minimum wage to the United States. Shit, I mean, why not? It's an easy change. I should look at if there's an updated version of HPM to see what changes they've made and make this just fit on top of it. But I'm not seeing a lot that I'm like, oh, I definitely need to change that. Just the extant systems make it really difficult to introduce and implement some of the ideas I want without some very serious coding that, truthfully, is beyond me. I'm a smart person. I have self-taught myself a decent amount of code. Yeah. No, I'm not invading Hawaii. No, thank you. But there's a lot that I don't know, and my level is definitely, like, low. Very low. There's a lot that I don't know. There's a lot that I have to learn. And I am very, very comfortable and happy with that. I'm sorry. I hope it improves. I can definitely relate. I have so many days with my last IP internet provider when they were just awful. Just absolutely awful. Which is why it's been such a relief this month to have gotten away from them. How are we doing in this, this whole situation? Maritime Union, still not mine. We have Canada, Haiti, the Empire of Mexico, and Dominican Republic. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. There's some other powers in here, like Honduras, all these Central American... Oh shit, Colombia. Colombia should be a higher priority. It should be a priority because of the Panama Canal. What do you people want? Voters' rights? Hell yeah. I can do political reforms. My god, what do you want? Non-secret ballots? How about having the upper house based on population? Oh, is that not what you want? Guess you're just gonna have to keep organizing. Gunboat diplomacy in Paraguay. Now, historically, this did not result in a war, but it could. Better leave the issue behind us. Have fun on this expedition. Imagine being so pissed off at Paraguay, a largely landlocked country, that you send gunships up a fucking river just to harass them for a minor concession. Come on, dog. Come on. Alright. There are the southern 48 states all incorporated. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. There's the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. It'll cost 100,000. I have that. Pay them. Pay the man. We lost Tucson and Animas. Ah, that's right. Then we have to do a follow-up treaty to get these. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, they're mostly Yankee. That's fine. Oh, God. 5440 your fight. I don't think I did this one. I think this is an HPM one. Right. HPM starts out with Washington, I think, owned by the United Kingdom. So this is just accepting that you don't get Washington. This sets Washington as a core, and I get the Columbia District event, or they get the Columbia District event. Or I can say give me all of it. All of Oregon belongs to us. Then that put us in a war. I didn't read the text. I didn't realize we'd go to war. That's fine. Is Canada on my side? Good. I don't have to deal with that, but now I would have to deal with naval landings, and this might be where I call it, just because I don't want to do another tedious war. We could win. It'd take forever. That event, I might want to... You know what? Yeah. I don't like that being an instant declare. I like you getting the cores, but I don't like that being an instant declare. Revisit 4550 event. I appreciate what they're going after, but it's not for me. Okay, army. Combat with -2, maybe. Better engineers, better morale. Let's do that. Would you like 2 games sometime? I may. I'm not sure what the my schedule looks like sometime, but I'm hoping to... Can I call you to war? Yes. Yes, good. Mexico, buddy. Please, come be a meat shield. I definitely may. I've been wanting to set up some more regular and consistent content. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Especially with some friends of mine, but one has been very sick, so we've had to table that. 1, 2, 3, 4. For the time being. Ah, damn it. 1, 2, 3. Damn, they're all from places that I know will revolt. Baltimore. Why are there Dixie in Baltimore? That'll do. Let's leave old Joseph Potter in DC, or by DC, and you can go out west. This can only go well. Narrator voice. It could not only go well. The British Navy is fucking terrifying and exhausting. I have 6 hours of free time to game, so probably wouldn't be hard to get an hour or so. Probably. I'll definitely keep it in mind and try and get back to you with like a more grounded answer than I'd like to have some planned like community games and stuff like that, but for the time being I'm struggling to get my real friends who live in the city with me, my RL friends who live 15 minutes away, scheduled. So once I get that locked down, I should be able to do a bit more. I'm also not scheduling a whole lot because I do plan to do some traveling in the not so far future. I'm just trying to minimally like stream every day right now. No, the libs are in power. Damn. 50 stack, huh? Oh, that's fine. That's not excessive. Well, we're reinforcing here and we'll have a 60 stack to not throw at it. I really don't want to throw troops at it, but a 60 stack to meet that with. Maybe I should double this one back. Yeah, they probably don't have more troops over here, and they won't make any more landing on that coast because this coast is closer. Okay, there we go. Go to New Westminster. I appreciate it. It's nice having folks around. Well, goodbye, Connecticut troops. I said 1860, right? I can make this 1860. I can win this war. Yeah, let's go to Philadelphia. Let's go to Newark. Oh no, what happened? Oh no, your troops, they look very dead. You're going to Scranton? I'll meet you in Scranton. Hell yeah, dude, let's hang out in Scranton. Meet me in the mountains, dog. Beautiful, alright. Split this in half? Yeah, yep, this is actually right. Split in half. You need a leader. You should automatically piss poor. Nice. Meticulous toady, attack reliability. I really... Joseph Connor, you seem nice. It'd be nice if in Victoria 3 they make it a bit more intuitive what people do. I don't even know what you're for, because I don't need you. Let's prioritize going up the coast, because there's not much coast, and then I'll probably split it up. This is the real theater I gotta worry about. Probably shouldn't be playing at speed 5, but... yeah, well... Wildcat Bills? No. Oh, rip. You're dead. Go up to Pittsburgh. Or you can attack me in the mountains of Albany with a stack that's only slightly larger and certainly doomed to fail. Okay, if that's what you want to do. I'll go to New York, meet you in Long Island, send that up to Burlington. Goodbye. God save the Queen. Because you're certainly not going to. Alright, how's the war going? You're the aggressor? Ha! Oh no. Oh no. I didn't realize you were the aggressor. Acquire state. Release puppet. Acquire state's probably the best way to do this. British Newfoundland. Why not? Why shouldn't I have it? I don't see it. Andalusia, Holstein, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Newfoundland, East countries make wind north. So it's probably not a state. It's in here. Victoria? Nope, that is in Australia. North Island? Nope. Oh, I didn't miss this system. Didn't miss this system at all. Pigu, Ceylon, Travancore, Madras, Bombay, Caribbean Islands, Sicily. What? What? You've released it! Oh, that's why I can't take it. You've released Colombia. You sly dog. Well, okay. you got me there. I guess... You really... You got me there, dog. Take from Sphere. Hawaii? Wait, Hawaii is in your sphere? Alright, none of those are right. Liberate country? Nah, free people and liberate country are very similar. Nope. Release puppet? Canada and Colombia would be the... Let's just see what I get the war goal, or war score up to before adding more. Adding more war goals, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna win this, because they just lost hundreds of thousands of troops in the mountains of upstate New York. Albany's beautiful, beautiful part of the country. Very, I mean, mountainous, I guess, but oh, Hades landed here. What in God's name? How did Mexico land troops in Bermuda? How did you get past this blockade? What the fuck? Alright, well, cool. I'm good with it. I don't understand it, but I love it. Common school movement are fucking pissed? Good, fine. Take a school. Get out of here. Columbia. Can we start on? Massachusetts retaken. Not Massachusetts. Yeah, New Bedford is retaken. How's the war score looking? Minus 15%. Would you actually settle for peace? No, you wouldn't. Why? Because attacker blockades. Yeah, you fucking suck. Because you think your army's bigger and you think you're gonna win. Alright. That's fine. That's fine. A viticulturalist association formed in one of our states. No drinky. No drinky. Is bad. Is bad in this game. IRL, you know, in moderation, it's fine to drink. In this game, it's just bad. Wait. I owe the Bank of France 14 ducats? What? Why? Expedition fails. Oh, ends. It succeeds. Great. I need to pay their debts. I'm a little more worried about me incurring debt. Why is this so expensive? This is why it's so expensive. No surprise there. Nope. Inorganic chemistry is kind of unnecessary right now, but it leads into some nice stuff. Okay. I mean, the war is pretty much over, dog. I mean, it's not like entirely over, but functionally, this isn't getting any better for you. I'm gonna pull away from the coasts. I'll pull you back out east, because they apparently don't want to be doing anything. And their sphere of influence in Colombia is terrible? Non-existent, even? And it's weird. I would have demanded Colombia in this war, and now those bastards stole that from me. Wah, wah, wah. Okay, we're gonna dial this down to like 50%. Even that's still kind of prohibitive. 25%? Sure, 25%. No one's on the coast, so if they make a landing, I'll have time. I see. They're coming in through here. I really should have predicted that, huh? Okay, and by that I mean we're just gonna raise the national stockpile. We're just gonna stack on tariffs that I really shouldn't have. Okay, where are you going? Lewiston? Cool. Fight me. Source of the Nile? Sure. You know what? Outfit an expedition. Who needs money anyway? Yeah, you're going to Concord. And then I'll meet you with 60,000 more troops in Concord. You go up to Plattsburgh. Goodbye. Are you going, Lewiston? Not for long. You stay in Concord. You go to Burlington. That should be a wipe, right? That should be a stack wipe. Don't let it run. It's gonna run. Where the fuck? Rimanusk. What is... Oh, this is connected. Huh, okay. Go to Baston. Go to Providence. Go to Pittsfield. Colonial discomfort. Equitable settlement. Where are you going next, dog? Going to Providence. On 23rd of April, you are already in Providence. Okay, we'll meet you there. Another law. What do you want? Unemployment subsidies. I mean, I'm fine with that. Pensions is what you mean by that, right? No, you mean trinket subsidies. Yeah, not pensions. That's for retired people. Goodbye. Goodbye, British troops. Get the fuck out of my country. Get out. Alright, Mexico's trying to handle that. That's not gonna go well. Southern labor, hell yeah. Okay, not making any more landings. You're fighting. Oh. That kind of sucks, huh? You're at negative 29%. Can interest you in a peace? I can. Can I add a war goal to perhaps, I'd like Newfoundland. How would you feel about giving me Newfoundland, huh? 9th of June. I shouldn't have done that. I should not have done that. God, I want to reload. That was stupid of me. What I did was run the game with that screen up, so I wasn't looking at what was going on. Yeah, just jack the tariffs all the way up. Fuck it. Ruin the economy. I don't care. Get the Brits out of here. And I wasn't looking at how much money we had, which was an issue. I also wasn't looking at where their troops were, which was an issue. You'd give me Newfoundland. Okay, you know what? I'll take it. Bam! No slavery in Newfoundland. I think I'm gonna call it here. It's been fun. Canada and Colombia we will acquire very quickly, very easily. I might plop in a save here just in case we want to come back to it. That was terrible. I really hope that was the Dixie army that I got killed. Oh, we didn't have a Dixie army. Well, we might have to focus more on recruiting after that. But hey, we got Newfoundland. Yeah. Yeah, so, I like the mod. I do. I do feel like I failed. If I'm being honest, I failed in the design of trying to make the interactions with the First Nations more interesting. I added more context to it. I mean, fuck, I added them to the game, which is an accomplishment in and of itself, but the interactions don't feel very meaningful or consequential. It just feels like you just click the annex button over and over and over, which is basically what it is. And it gives you a little bit of history of what happened, which is better than vanilla, right? It's better than it was, but I think ultimately this mod fails to do what I wanted it to do initially. I don't think I really have the chops to reprogram Victoria 2 to do what I want it to do. I'm hoping that Victoria 3 presents me with more opportunities or more possibilities there. At the very least, it'll be a newer game with a bigger fan base, with code that's more familiar to me, so I feel more optimistic with Victoria 3. That said, maybe not tonight, probably tomorrow. I'd be okay with going through the code and looking at changes I want to make to this. As you know, Vicky 3 isn't going to be out for a while, and the announcement will probably create a small but notable resurgence in the popularity of Victoria 2. If it's anything like past Paradox titles, probably prior to the release of Victoria 3, they will offer Victoria 2 as free-to-play, or give out free copies of it, or make it heavily discounted, which I think it is today, as a matter of fact. I think it's like 80% discounted today, and will be for the rest of the week. So, you know, just for players who play Vicky 2 and don't pick up Vicky 3, I think it might be worthwhile. But, you know, that's all gonna be later. For tonight, I'm gonna say thanks for hanging out. Until tomorrow, I'm gonna say toodaloo. Take care. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.